big thing in California, big thing that about maybe 10 years ago, mad cow was found in California here. Now, mad cow has been kind of played down because, yeah, you're talking about scary things. This makes Ebola, cancer, nuclear holocaust look tame. This is a particular type of compound called a prion. Now, prion, which is really wild, it's non-living, it's a protein that folds, actually physically changes and causes a particular type of neurodegenerative type of problem where your brain turns into Swiss cheese. You can't cook it, you can't autoclave it. This stuff is like unbelievable. And this is something that's got into our food chain. This is starting to be seen in deer population. It's been shown in goats, but now in California, which there's only been 2 or 3 other cases like that, was brought up again. So I know they're really trying to downplay it because this is like, definitely some type of horror movie. This is where people go insane and they can't think and they basically look like they want to die. They want to blow their heads off because of this prion. Once again, this is a particular type of protein that physically changes. Now, in my profession, structure equals function. So when you change the structure of a protein, that actually changes function, causing your brain to turn into, once again, big holes like that. Very scary stuff. Also, it was interesting today. Now, South Korea has now has immediately stopped any type of beef intake into their country because they, I think, understand about the significance of this is bigger. And which is kind of interesting, they import 125,000 tons of beef from the United States. So this is big money. So I'm sure that the people behind the scenes are trying to spin this like no big deal and who cares and stuff. But if you are old enough to remember, in the United Kingdom, that was a big scare. Is about they had this practice of taking sick animals, grinding them up and feeding back to cows and stuff. And cows are not meat eaters, and you're not supposed to recycle that. The mad cow takes sometimes 10 to 20 years. Once it gets into your system, it's a time bomb. And so that's the hard side. And that was even, we could talk some more about the mad cow. So originally this came out with a Creutzfeldt type of neurological disease that they found in this particular type of tribe. I forget, I think it was in Indonesia or the South Pacific, where they have a ritual is that when when their family members die, they have a ritual of eating their brain, as in terms of passing on the knowledge and wisdom there. Well, that created this particular type of disease to be spread, and so it's been well researched, and that can have an incubation period up to 40 years. That's what's kind of scary. It's a ticking time bomb. And this has been shown in other types, like I said, other animals, deer and sheep and cattle and elk and stuff like this. This is starting to kind of become bigger and bigger problem. And what freaks everybody out is there's no way of controlling this thing. Like I said, you can't, autoclave is kind of traditionally the super duper, it's heat and pressure it's heat under pressure, and that's how doctors and we do sterilize things. This cannot be sterilized. You can put this in there, and then once again, it's a compound that doesn't change. So you can't cook it out, you can't overcook it, you can't microwave it, and it's a ticking time bomb. Some people, it'll start turning on at 10 years, some other people 40 years. And so this incident that happened back in middle 2000, as the people that really understand this disease, we don't know until another 10 or 20 years if this has been spread out throughout the country here. So originally, the typical American type of twist is, oh yeah, we're so high tech and we got this all controlled. Well, I didn't realize that actually this has happened now 3 other times. This is the 4th incidence of. So this is starting to see, and I haven't seen any spin. Where did this cow get this? Because back in 2004, United States is supposed to have stopped doing this rendering process where they grind up old sick cows and then feed the so-called healthy cows. They've stopped that. So where did this come from? They're not going there because, yeah, they know how scary this is. So it could be already in the system. And the sad thing is, and I'm definitely a big critic of the government, but government officials are supposed to be, once again, doing testing. They test on 40,000 cows a year. That's nothing. There are hundreds of millions. So they take a little sample, and believe me, just common sense, they're not going to, it's amazing that they caught this cow. Now, part of the problem is that if a farmer is really aware of it, mad cow is sort of like Parkinson's, and the cow or the person's become disoriented. They can't walk. They become very febrile, and they don't have a cold or any viruses like that. And so the only way that they can detect this, they have to do an autopsy of the brain and look at this cheese-like type brain stuff. So I'm speculating that, definitely it's gotten back, it has been in the system, and now it's starting to, show its ugly head here. So it's once again, it's interesting. And now, because of the financial aspect, like I said, South Korea, and I'm sure other countries will start to ban meat export like that. The American Meat Institute is really going to start, once again, paying those corrupt politicians again to, oh, don't worry about it, it's completely safe, and I'm eating it, and well, we already know that you're brain dead, so why would we want to eat something you do? But they'll sell it their heart and souls, just like the drug companies and drug doctors do. So anyway, so kind of interesting there.